many years, the Muslim community lived side by side with its Sinhalese neighbours here in the district of Kandy. But all of that changed on the 5th of March when groups of men and women, masked and carrying sticks, stormed into a number of suburbs and started destroying Muslim homes, shops and businesses. Now, the government has condemned the attacks, as have religious Sinhalese Buddhist groups. But there is a widespread feeling that a number of politicians and some monks had close relations with some of the members of these mobs. Now, a number of people have been arrested, but so far there haven't been any convictions. And the government has paid out some degree of compensation to some of the victims of the violence. But we went to visit one of the suburbs, and the people there told us that given that some of these shops had been razed to the ground, it would be a long time before they would start earning an income. This is all that remains of Rahim Samsudin's home and shoe shop. He spent his entire life building it up, but it was destroyed in just a few hours when a mob of hardline nationalist Sinhalese men and women stormed into his neighbourhood. His youngest son, Abdul Bashith, got trapped in the fire and died. His body was found here. He was 24.
He treated everyone, including the Sinhalese, with love and respect, and he was also respected and loved. Since it happened, I cannot sleep at all. I think about it all the time. My son is no longer alive. My wife is sick. My other sons cannot concentrate on their work.
TRT World obtained CCTV footage showing how the mob moved into the area and started attacking, and how they looted businesses before smashing them up and setting them alight. Residents in a nearby neighbourhood blamed the police for inaction.
They could have controlled it, then the mob would not have come this far. On that day, we didn't see any police in the area where we live. We even called the police emergency number, but they didn't pick up.
More than 100 houses were destroyed. So were 96 businesses, several cars and 3 mosques. The people here believe the mob wanted to destroy their livelihoods because they resent their success. Like so many businesses around here, the one behind me was family-owned. It used to sell spare parts for auto rickshaws, and on the day of the attacks, 4 petrol bombs were thrown inside by the mob while the family looked on from the apartment upstairs. Now, the Sri Lankan government has already compensated the family with around $1,000, and the army has been here to clear up some of the debris. The government has paid compensation to all the families and says it will hold the culprits accountable.
We already arrested many, and they have been charged. The investigation is going on, and many are behind cells.
It also says it's carrying out an investigation into why the police took no action. The violence was triggered by a fight over a road traffic incident between this Sinhalese woman's husband and 4 Muslim men. He died a few days later in hospital.
My daughter asks me if her father will return to us someday from another world. She's been thinking a lot and she doesn't eat much now.
Tilaka Padma Kumari doesn't regard the fight as a religious clash. But hardline groups have turned it into just that, and in the process have torn apart communities who've lived together in peace for years. Shamim Chowdhury, TRT World, Kandy, Sri Lanka. Now, what is most striking about these attacks is that even though many police and security forces were deployed on the streets, none of them took any action to prevent the riots from taking place. Now, we've spoken to a number of analysts as well as business and community leaders, and they say there are a number of reasons for this. First of all, it's believed that the lower-ranking police officers would have been from this area, and they would have been friends with some of the mob members and shared their Sinhalese nationalistic views and ideals. Another reason is that they would have been afraid of losing their jobs if they started protecting the Muslim homes and businesses, because it is known in Sri Lanka that high-ranking officials working for the security forces and the police do have those nationalistic views, and they have been known to be cavorting or have communications with members of ultra-nationalist organisations. So the reason would be that they would fear losing their jobs.